Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is September 19th. Clayton Kershaw plans to retire. The Phillies get the East. Let's talk about it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order. How are we doing today, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be another interesting episode filled with baseball. Of course, that's what we're here for. As the postseason is just a short bit away. We've got less than 2 weeks to go here. And we've got some crazy news to talk about. Of course, you guys know it. If you clicked on this video, it's in the thumbnail. It's in kind of the big news of the day and of baseball in general here. So with that being said, let's get into our series recap. Leading things off, we've got the Oilers and the White Sox. Colton Cowser, a 3-run home run, would break the tie in a 4-1 victory. Basallo and Beavers go deep in an 8-7 victory. And then it's Beavers again for the difference in this one. 3-1 Baltimore as they sweep the series. Marlins and Rockies now. The Marlins scored 6 unanswered before the Rockies scored 5 in the last 2 innings. They couldn't finish it up though. Marlins hold on to a 6-5 victory. Augustine Ramirez homer number 21, part of an 8-4 victory. And the Mickey Moniak homers in all 3 games of this series. Blaine Crim hits a 2-homer game, but the Marlins hold on. Hicks, Lopez, and Hernandez all go deep in a 9-7 victory as the Marlins get a sweep. Braves and Nationals playing a 4-game series with a doubleheader involved. Matt Olson, Ronald Acuna, Drake Baldwin, they all go deep in an 11-3 victory. Profar and Olson homers in a 6-3 victory, the first game of the doubleheader. After no runs through 9 innings, the Braves score 5 in the 10th for a 5-0 victory. And in the last game, Matt Olson homers again, homering in 3 of the 4. The Braves score 9 unanswered to win it 9-4, and Atlanta sweeps the 4-game series versus the Nationals. Angels and Brewers, Yelich home run. How about Denzer Guzman getting his first career MLB home run for the Halos, 9-2 Milwaukee though. Sal Frelick with homer, part of a 9-2 victory again. Taylor Ward, a 2-homer game, both solo home runs, both the only runs for the Angels in that one. And in the last game, the Brewers scored 3 in the 7th as they come back to win a 5-2 victory and sweep the Angels. Cubs and Pirates, Michael Busch and Pete Crow Armstrong, they homer in a 4-0 victory. Busch homers again in Game 2 for a 4-1 victory, and then it's Ian Happ and Ballesteros going deep in the 8-4 Cubs victory as the Chicago Cubs sweep the Pirates. We've got 4 sweeps in a row to start us off here. A's and Red Sox, the A's scored 2 in the 6th, which tied them and got them the lead. 2-1 A's as they take the opener. Boston comes back, though, with a walk-off win in extras. Nick Sogard delivers on a fielder's choice, part of a 5-4 Red Sox win. And in the rubber match, Brent Rooker becomes the 3rd A to hit his 30th home run of the season. The A's score 3 in the first and hold on to it from there. 5-3 the final. They take 2 of 3 from the Red Sox. Yankees and Twins. The Twins come out swinging. Brooks Lee goes deep, and they score 5 runs in the 7th, part of a 7-0 Twins victory. The Yankees at one point led 10-1 in the second game. The Twins made it interesting. They scored 8 unanswered, but could not get that 9th run. It's a 10-9 victory for the Yankees, and in the rubber match, Trent Grisham, a 2-homer game for him. Bellinger goes deep late. It's a 10-5 victory as the Yankees take 2 of 3 from Minnesota. Blue Jays and Rays, George Springer singles in a run in the 11th inning. And how about Fisher comes in to strike out the side. Blue Jays get a 2-1 win in the opener of 4. Lucas and Loperfido go deep in the second game, part of a 6-5 Blue Jays win. But here comes those pesky Devil Rays, the Tampa Bay Rays, and Chandler Simpson gets an RBI single. That's the difference in a 2-1 victory. And then Carson Williams hits his 4th home run of his career and of the season in a 4-0 Rays win as the Rays and Blue Jays split the 4-game set. Guardians and Tigers now. Kerry Carpenter tied it with a home run down to their last out, but in extras, the Guardians score 4 in the 10th. They take a 7-5 victory. They then shut out the Tigers and score a run in at least 3 different innings for a 4-0 Guardians win. And in the last game is John Kenzie Noel and Jose Ramirez that go deep. 3-1 Cleveland. The Guardians sweep the Tigers. That Central's not done yet. Mariners and Royals. How about Big Dumper? What a day. A 2-homer game as he passes Mickey Mantle for the most home runs by a switch hitter in a season. And that second home run ties Ken Griffey Jr. for the most home runs by a Mariner in a single season. One more would put him in front. Dominic Canzone, a 3-homer game for him as well. And how about Carter Jensen? His first career MLB home run and his second MLB home run as well. That's the 4th time this season that a player has had the first and second Major League home runs in the same game. The 3rd time for the Royals of all teams. 12-5 Mariners, though, they win that one. The Royals would come back, though. Salvador Perez, Adam Frazier, they both homer to win it 7-5 to end the Mariners' 10-game winning streak. But Seattle would come back. They would get a 2-0 victory and take 2 of 3 from the Royals. Reds and Cardinals. Sal Stewart goes deep in a fun back-and-forth game that ends in the 9th as Tyler Stevenson gets a bases-clearing double to kind of blow it open. 11-6 Cincinnati. They get that win. Thomas Zagesi, I still haven't learned to pronounce that one. He goes deep in a 3-0 Cardinals win. And in the rubber match, how about Spencer Steer? What a day. 3 for 4 with a home run and 5 RBIs. Scored all but 1 run. That last run was on a wild pitch. 6-2 Cincinnati. They take 2 of 3 from the Cardinals. Giants and D-backs in a very important series. The D-backs, though, blow this one open in the 6th by scoring 6 runs, including a James McCann home run, part of an 8-1 victory. Then in Game 2, the Diamondbacks come back from down 4. They end up tying it and walk it off in the 9th. Jordan Lawler, the walk-off single in a 6-5 victory. And then in the final game, it's a pitching gem from both Justin Verlander and Brandon Pfaadt. We had no runs through 9. In the 11th inning, we get our first runs of this game. Giants scored 5, though, as they avoid the sweep with a 5-1 victory. Padres and Mets. The Mets open it up with 5 runs in the first. Brett Beatty, his 17th home run of the season in that inning. Later on, it's Lindor, it's Alonso, it's Mullins, who all go deep in 8-3 Mets win. Alonso and Marte homer in Game 2, but it's Manny Machado's grand slam that breaks the tie in this one, 7 for Padres. And the rematch, it's Pete Alonso again, his 4th straight game with a home run. Nimmo goes deep as well, 6-1 Mets. They get a very important series win, taking 2 of 3 from the Padres. Phillies and Dodgers, 2 top teams in the NL going at it. Schwarber, Muncy, Weston Wilson, Mookie Betts, Bryce Harper, Andy Paz, they all go deep in a great back-and-forth game. The Phillies scored in extras, the Dodgers did not. The Phillies win it and clinch the NL East 6-5 Philadelphia. In Game 2, it's Alex Call, Kike Hernandez, they go deep. The Phillies score 6 runs in the 6th after 5 no-hit innings from Ohtani, including home runs from Brandon Marsh and Max Kepler. Ohtani would homer, that would help tie the game up later on. In the 9th inning, Rafael Marchand, it's a 3-run home run to break the tie in the 9th. The Phillies get a 9-6 victory. But in the last game, Freeman Ohtani homer. That is a 5-0 Dodgers win as they avoid the sweep against the Phillies. And lastly, Rangers and Astros. Zach Cole hits a 2-run go-ahead home run in the 5th. That was the difference. He would get an RBI single later on for some more insurance, so Astros win it 6-3. The Astros scored 4 in the 4th. The Rangers scored 4 in the 8th to make it interesting, but the Astros hold on 6-5 the final. And in the last game, Altuve, it's a 2-run go-ahead home run off of DeGrom in the 3rd. Jeremy Pena homers later for some insurance. It's a 5-2 Astros win. They handle their business, and that's your series recap. All right, now for the game of the week, we're going to LA. Phillies and Dodgers, Game 1 of this series. Top of the first, Kyle Schwarber hits his 53rd home run of the season. 1-0 Philly. Bottom third, Dodgers tied up. Mookie Betts a sac fly. It's 1-1. Bottom five, Max Muncy, welcome to the party. 18th home run of the season. A solo shot puts them up 2-1. And then Mookie Betts another sac fly. It's 3-1 LA. Top seven, the Phillies come back. Bryson Stott, an RBI single, makes it a one-run game. And then Weston Wilson hits his 5th home run of the season. A 2-run shot puts the Phillies up 4-3. Bottom seven, though, it's Mookie Betts. Not a sac fly this time. His 19th home run of the season ties this game up at 4 as we enter the 8th inning. Bryce Harper, his 27th home run of the season. A solo shot. 5-4. Philly retakes the lead. Bottom ninth, Johan Duran looking for the save, but runs into Andy Pages. His 25th home run of the season ties this game up. We're not done. We head into extras where JT Realmuto gets a sac fly to put the Phillies up a run. In comes David Robertson. He gets the save. The Phillies hang on, they win it 6-5 and clinch the NL East in the process. That was your game of the weekend, or the week, excuse me. This is the weekend, and let's get into it, starting off by talking about those same Phillies that clinched the NL East. How about that? Back-to-back NL East champions for the Philadelphia Phillies. They are in a great position to host an NLDS series. And yeah, the team's really clicked. Everything's, fired off all cylinders. It's really helped that the Braves were nowhere where we expected them to be at the beginning of the season. And when you take care of a 4-game sweep of the Mets, who were your division rivals, it really was the Phillies' division to lose. Once they got it, they made sure to hold on to it. Well-deserved, and congratulations to all those Phillies players. Speaking of clinching stuff, though, they were not the only teams to clinch something this past week, because the Chicago Cubs have clinched their spot in the 2025 MLB postseason. They last appeared in a postseason in 2020. That was the COVID year, where I believe they lost the Marlins in the wild card round. So it's very likely they're going to end up in the wild card round once again. They're still chasing the Brewers for the NL Central, but with 9 games to go and a 6-game difference, it's very likely that the Cubs will be hosting a wild card series, most likely to the Padres, maybe the Dodgers, but we'll have to see. So far, that's the 3rd team that has punched their ticket into the 2025 postseason, so keep an eye on that. And of course, as teams continue to punch their tickets, more teams are getting eliminated. And we had a couple more this week, including the list of the Pirates, the Oilers, and the A's. 2 teams here on this list that, people weren't expecting, but had decent seasons, I guess. The Pirates, Paul Skeens going to potentially win another Cy Young. The team can click. The team can go. With Paul Skeens at the helm, anything is possible there, but with the ownership even more at the helm, you never know. The A's, on the other hand, first season in Sacramento in that AAA ballpark of theirs, they were off to a really hot start. Remember, at one point, they were in a postseason spot, going back to April and May there. And then they had a giant, 10 or 13 game losing streak, followed up by another giant 10 to 13 game losing streak. So, I think they had a stretch where in 30 games, they were 3-27, or it was something like that, really bad. And that kind of put them into the basement. But they, in the last couple of months, they've shown why they're a good team, and it's because of that offense. Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson, a lot of young kids there. The offense is really good. I'm excited to see what kind of things they'll continue to do next year. If they can get some pitching now, the A's could potentially be a postseason team in the next, 2-3 years here. So keep an eye on that. And then, of course, Baltimore. The season that gone awry from them really quickly. I think no one would have expected them to miss the postseason, but a bunch of players underperformed. There was no pitching there, and, they kind of just fell back at the start and couldn't make it up. So they also get eliminated here, and that handles all of that. So those 3 teams no longer making it into the postseason. But let's continue on with the baseball news here. Let's talk about the teams that, kind of handled their own this week. And I mean, like, really handled their own, specifically the Houston Astros and the Cleveland Guardians. The Houston Astros came into this series, the Rangers needed 1 game to have a tiebreaker. The Rangers were 2 games out of a wild card spot. So the Rangers had a really good chance to handle the Astros, get into a wild card spot, say goodbye to Houston a little bit. But Houston says no shot. They sweep the series. So not only do they, get the sweep, which is important, they get the tiebreaker over the Rangers, which, I mean, could have been important, but now I don't really know if it is or isn't, because I kind of think Houston sent the Rangers to their deathbed this season. I mean, that's a 4-game swing because they get the 3-game sweep plus the tiebreaker. That kind of just pushes down the Rangers here. And for Houston, I mean, that's huge because while they swept, Mariners took 2 of 3 from the Royals, which, still Seattle's been very good, that 10-game winning streak. But because of that loss they served, they're now tied with them once again. So, I mean, Astros Mariners tied in the standings, tied for the tiebreaker, and they play each other this weekend in a 3-game set. So, I mean, this is everything and more. Houston handled their business against Texas, who are now 5 games back of the division between either of them, as well as 4 games back of the wild card. And with 9 games left, you're thinking, yeah, that could kind of potentially seal the Rangers' fate, especially now because the Rangers don't have any tiebreakers against Seattle or the Astros, I'm pretty sure. Definitely the Astros. I forget if Seattle or Texas has the tiebreaker there. But yeah, just really great stuff by Houston. And then how about the AL Central? Cleveland Guardians right now. They are doing incredible things. They are 9-1 in their last 10. They're on a 7-game winning streak, and I think if you go back even further, they were on a 5 or 6-game winning streak just before, or a 4-game winning streak, I think. So when you add them up together, they are 11-1 in their last 12, something like that. Off the top of my head here, they're 81-71. They sweep the Detroit Tigers, who are ahead of them in the Central standings. Remember, Detroit at one point in the season led the AL Central by 15 games or something. It was an outrageous stretch that the Tigers were having. They end up in the second half cold as ice, really. They were really off to a slow start in that second half. They kind of got, grooving a little bit into into August. But now in September, they've again kind of stalled out. 3-7 in their last 10, including the 3-game sweep that they just had. And when you look at the standings now, Cleveland, a game and a half back of Boston for the final wild card spot, and 3.5 back for the division. A lead that was once 15, thanks to a 7-game winning streak by the Guardians in a whole crazy month, is now down to 3.5. There is still a lot to play for here for Cleveland, and they handled this series, great. A-class stuff from the Guardians to do this, especially on the road. They did it in Detroit. They have another 3-game series with the Tigers next week, this time in Cleveland. If they can handle their own in this weekend series, if the Tigers struggle in this weekend series, we could be talking about the Tigers and Guardians having a series for the AL Central next week. So that's really exciting. So Cleveland handled them, took care of business this week. They need to now do this again next week. And we could be talking about Cleveland still winning the AL Central here. So that is not over. If anything, that race just got heated up to a max. So really exciting stuff. Good job for Cleveland to kind of make things interesting here late. And we'll see if they can handle Detroit once again. Detroit, wake up, because here comes Cleveland a little bit, Moving on here, let's talk about the 50th home runs that we've seen. And I'm saying 50th as in overall for a specific player in general here. Shohei Ohtani became the 3rd player this season to hit his 50th home run on the year. Ohtani, of course, had 50 home runs last year, or 50 plus, I should say. It's the first time since 2001 and 2002 with Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, that a player has had back-to-back 50-plus home run seasons, which is pretty wild. That's 0102. That's before I'm even alive. So, long time since we've seen that. And then this is also the third season in MLB history where 3-plus players have had 50-plus home runs or more. The first time since 2001, where it was Barry Bonds, Sosa, Gonzalez, and Rodriguez, as we mentioned. The other time this happened was 1998 with Mark McGwire, Sosa, Vaughn, and then Ken Griffey Jr. So, yeah, 3 seasons. This is the third season we've had 50-plus home runs from 3-plus players. The other two all had 4 players that hit 50. If you take a look at the standings, or the stats, I should say, Judge currently sits at 48 home runs. So if he can hit 2 home runs in these last 9 games, we would have 4 players with 50-plus home runs. After Judge, Eugenio Suarez from the Mariners, he's at 46. So if he can get 4 in these last 9 games, we could have the first time ever we see 5-plus players hit home runs. So really cool stuff there, really cool history. Just a season of just history, and a lot of it. I mean, it seems like every week, especially now as the season's coming to an end, we're just getting more and more history here. Speaking of history, I guess we should say here, we've got the ending of history as Clayton Kershaw announced that this would be his last season in the big leagues, and he's making his last home start today, potentially. His last, definitely regular season home start. It's the last series that the Dodgers are hosting, as their last 2 series on the season is on the road. But Clayton Kershaw calls it a career. This was his age 37 season. And, I mean, he is one of those guys, the last of a dying breed of pitchers. You think of, Kershaw, Verlander, Scherzer. We've talked about these 3 kind of all season long and their moments and stuff that they've done. Clayton Kershaw, an MVP winner, a 3-time Cy Young winner, a Triple Crown winner, an 11-time All-Star. He's got a Gold Glove. He's got the Roberto Clemente Award at one point, a 5-time ERA champion, as well as the 2020 and 2024 World Series champion. Clayton Kershaw, his career, 80.5 WAR. 222 wins, 96 losses in 452 career games, 449 starts, a 2.54 ERA, over 3,000 strikeouts, currently at 3,039, with 2,844 innings pitched. Of course, pitches tonight against San Francisco, which, I mean, if there was going to be a team that Clayton Kershaw was going to finish his regular season career with, it would be the Giants. His last regular season home start, I mean, just a fantastic season. You want to look at a great pitcher. I mean, Clayton Kershaw's Baseball Reference is just something out of a movie. I mean, look at the numbers sometimes. 2012, 2014, like those years entirely, going back from 2011 to 2017, that 6-year period, if we just want to highlight that for a second, I'm gonna highlight this for a second. From 2011 to 2017, in that span, he had 47.1 WAR. That's crazy. 118 wins to 41 losses. He won basically 74% of his games. He had a 2.10 ERA with 24 complete games, 14 of which shutouts, by the way. Like, absolutely insatiable numbers from Clayton Kershaw here. I mean, I could just go over this page and go over Clayton Kershaw, but if you're listening to this, then you know baseball. And if you know baseball, you know Clayton Kershaw. And I mean, what a player. With number 22, it's a number that I'm assuming the Dodgers will eventually retire. He's going to be a first-round Hall of Fame ballot. I mean, he is a one-of-one pitcher. And, I mean, it's going to be really weird watching baseball without him. I mean, the last couple of years, we've had some really big retirements, when you think back to, like, Ichiro and Miguel Cabrera and, like, all these certain players, Albert Pujols a couple years back now. Like, we're really at the end of an era here. Kershaw now going. I mean, once Verlander and Scherzer go, we're pretty much like in a new era of baseball. It feels like it's a really weird feeling. And there's still obviously more players in that like 2010s era that kind of became the superstars of baseball. Guys like Trout and Altuve, Andrew McCutcheon. So there's still a couple of other players, but I mean, for pitching wise, Kershaw really was it. And I mean, he's an epitome of like, hey, be with a team. Like he, debuted in 2008 with the Dodgers. He did not go to any other team. He was with the Dodgers through thick and thin, through 18 big league seasons. Just a phenomenal player, and a really, player worth, remembering. And I will definitely be glued to my TV for the Dodgers game tonight to enjoy his last regular season start, witness greatness one last time, because that's what he's been, is just great. Just great, great, great. That's all you can really say about Clayton Kershaw here. Moving on now, let's continue on with the episode, get through our injury updates going forward here now. Starting off, we've got Wilson Contreras, who will land on the 10-day IL with a strained shoulder. Jose Quintana from the Brewers on the 15-day IL with a strained calf. Zach Neto from the Angels, 10-day IL with a strained hand. Owen Casey from the Cubs on the 7-day IL with a concussion. Reed Garrett on the 15-day IL with a sprained elbow. And then Yordan Alvarez has suffered a quote-unquote significant ankle injury. He did so in Game 1 against that Rangers in the Rangers series. Has had no move yet onto the IL or anything, but Astros manager named it a significant injury, so not sure what that means for him, how much time he'll miss. Is it the rest of the season? Can he come back for the postseason at some point, if the Astros make it? So definitely not what you want there from, if you're the Astros here, especially in a big series coming up against the Mariners. So that's just something to consider here as we get now to the outstanding performances from the weekend, Weekend. I'm so excited for the weekend already. Going off the list here, we have Simeon Woods Richardson, 6 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. Career high for him against the Yankees. Trey Savage made his Blue Jays debut, his MLB debut, 5 innings, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. A fantastic debut for him. Blue Jays franchise record for most strikeouts in a debut, had 9. Great stuff from him. Freddie Peralta, 6 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Michael McGreevy, 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, and 6 Ks. Chris Sale, 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, and 9 Ks. He was brilliant. Shohei Ohtani, 5 innings, no hits, no runs, a walk, and 5 Ks. Stephen Kolek, despite the loss, went 7 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 8 Ks. Gave the Royals all he had. Justin Verlander has been great recently with the Giants. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. How about Brandon Pfaadt? 9 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 7 strikeouts. He pitched 9 innings. Was not a complete game because that was the game the Diamondbacks went into extras, but still phenomenal stuff from Brandon Pfaadt. And then Blake Snell, 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 12 Ks. That, ladies and gentlemen, was the outstanding performances. As we get now to our stat leaderboard, and we're at that point in the season where not much is changing, I guess you could say. Average is still Judge, 328. Bo Bichette in hits is still 181 because him and Turner are both on the IL, and everyone else is so much further back. So Bo Bichette just holding on to it still. Cal Raleigh up to 56 home runs, 4 home runs in 9 games. Can Raleigh do it? Schwarber, 128 RBIs, leads still. Ohtani still leads in runs, 138. Soto in walks, 119. Caballero stolen bases, 48. OPS is Judge, 1.129. So yeah, the numbers changed, but the players have stayed the same. For wins, Max Fried now stands alone. It was Freddie Peralta for the longest time. Last week, it was Fried, Rodon, and Peralta. This week, it's just Max Fried. He got 2 wins last week. 18 now on the year. Is there time to get 20? I don't know. ERA, Paul Skeens, his ERA has jumped back over 2. It's a 2.03 ERA. You can get that under 1 still, potentially, or under 2, excuse me. Strikeouts is still Garrett Crochet, 240 Ks on the season. And for saves, Carlos Estevez still leads it now with 40. The only pitcher so far who has had 40 saves. And the only one who can really join him would be Robert Suarez. I think he's at 38 currently. So we'll see if he's able to do that. As we get now to the very exciting part of the episode, the upcoming series. I don't know. I'm all over the place today, I feel like. The upcoming series for the weekend. I'm just confusing words here at this point. The Angels are playing the Rockies in Colorado. A's at Pirates. Marlins at Rangers. Red Sox at Rays. Yankees and Oilers begin a 4-game set yesterday. Blue Jays at Royals. Braves at Tigers. Guardians at Twins begin a 4-game set. They have a doubleheader on Saturday, tomorrow. Nationals at Mets. Padres at White Sox. Brewers at Cardinals. Cubs and Reds have a 4-game set. Phillies at D-backs. Very big series there. Giants and Dodgers begun a 4-game set yesterday. And then the big one, the Mariners and the Astros in Houston. Are you kidding me? This is the series highlight. Of course, it's the series highlight. This is probably the biggest series remaining on the MLB season. I gotta say, there's nothing really that I can think of that is bigger. I mean, the Mariners and Astros are tied for first in the AL West. They're tied 5-5 in the season series, and they're, of course, both 1 game back of Tigers for the 2nd seed, which would result in a wild card bye. So as the Tigers continue to flounder, continue to worry about the Guardians, this is the best opportunity for one of these teams to maybe get the 2nd seed and not avoid the wild card as a whole. I mean, this series is everything. Everything you want from baseball, and a sweep is essentially winning the division because you get 3 games, you have a 3-game difference, plus the tiebreaker, which is essentially a 4th game. And you would have 4 games with 6 games to go. That's the difference in the season right now between the Astros and Mariners. So a sweep pretty much secures one of these teams in the division. And if, whoever wins the series, of course, gets the tiebreaker. So it's either a 3 or 4 game swing for one of these teams with 6 games to go. So this series essentially decides the AL West, or at least pretty much decides it, unless the team that wins this series then struggles in the last 6 games, while the other team that loses the series does well in the last 6 games. So a lot at stake. Anyways, game 1 tonight. Bryan Woo on the mound for the Mariners, probably the best pitch they've had all season long. A 14-7 record, a 3.02 ERA. He has the challenge of Hunter Brown on the mound for the Astros, who's probably been their best pitcher on the season thus far. A 12-7 record, a 2.27 ERA. So the 2 best pitchers this season go at it today. In Game 2, tomorrow, George Kirby, a 9-7 record, a 4.46 ERA for the Mariners, will go up against Framber Valdez, who is 12-10 this year with a 3.59 ERA. Both of these guys are similar in the facts that they probably haven't had the best seasons that they have wanted. Kirby and Valdez came in kind of the aces of their staffs, and Kirby got hurt, has, had bad starts, had some really good starts, but, a mixed bag. Same with Framber. The consistency hasn't been there. This game will be very good. And then in Game 3, Logan Gilbert for the Mariners, 5-6 record, a 3.53 ERA, versus Jason Alexander, a 4-1 record with a 4.04 ERA. Both of these guys have had injuries. Haven't been around for all season, but recently both have been very good. So this game is good. I mean, it's matched up perfectly. The best, the runner-ups, and like it really is the 1, 2, 3 starters, or at least it feels that way for this series. I mean, this series, I'm ready to eat this up. I'm gonna be watching all of these games. Like this is the base. This is the postseason before the postseason. Like this is as perfect as you could be. Like this is really like the baseball you want to watch and want to see. So very excited for that here. As we now take a look at the magic numbers for the remainder of this series, of the season, 9 games remain for all teams except the Guardians and Twins. They have 10 because they have the doubleheader tomorrow on Saturday. But essentially, it's 9 games left on the season to go. In the AL, the Blue Jays' magic number is 2. They can clinch today if they get their win and get their teams that they need to lose. The Tigers, their magic number to clinch a postseason spot is at 6. The Mariners and Astros, of course, tied for the division. They have a magic number of 7 to clinch a postseason spot. The Yankees are down to 5, and the Red Sox are down to 8, which, I mean, with 9 games remaining, is pretty much, the last week, the last series of the season. For the NL, we've had 3 clinches already, so 3 spots remain. The Dodgers' magic number, believe it or not, is 1. If only they had their face of the franchise for the last 18 seasons on the mound today, that could potentially clinch them a postseason spot. How would that feel? The Padres' magic number is down to 4, and the Mets are down to 8, similar spot to where they are at with the Red Sox. To clinch divisions, the Blue Jays' magic number to clinch the AL East is 6. The Tigers to clinch the magic number to clinch division is 7. Mariners and Astros are 9. Because they're tied, but we'll have to see. That will change very quickly this weekend. The Brewers' magic number for the division is down to 4, while the Dodgers to clinch the NL West is down to 6. So those are the ones there. Added a new thing to the magic numbers here. First round bye. The Phillies and Brewers both to clinch the first round byes and take the first 2 seeds in the NL. That magic number is down to 4. The Blue Jays' first round bye is down to 6. So similar to the division, if they clinch the division, they will get a first round bye. The Tigers are down to 9. So, that means nothing since there's 9 games remaining. For some losing magic numbers, the Braves and Rays are down to 1. So they just need to lose a game here. The Royals are down to 3. Marlins and Cardinals down to 4. And then the Rangers are down to 6. The teams that are still in the hut but are not in a postseason spot include the Cleveland Guardians in the AL, and then in the NL, the Giants, Diamondbacks, and Reds are 2 to 3 games out of the last wildcard seed. Guardians a game and a half back of the Red Sox for the last seed there. And that is your magic numbers, which brings us now to the playoff predictor, the last part of today's episode here. And if the postseason started today, this is how it shapes up to be. The Red Sox in the 6th seed taking on the Mariners in the 3 seed. I put the Mariners here because technically they have the tiebreaker when you go down the list of different tiebreakers. The Astros would be in the 5 seed then, taking on the Yankees in the 4 seed. Red Sox beat the Mariners. Yankees beat the Astros. So the ALDS matchup, Red Sox at Tigers and Yankees at Blue Jays. The Red Sox beat the Tigers. The Blue Jays beat the Yankees. So the AL Championship Series, ALCS matchup, Red Sox at Blue Jays, and the Red Sox on a Cinderella story run make it to the World Series. On the NL side of things, Mets in the 6th seed taking on the Dodgers in the 3 seed. Padres at the 5 seed taking on the Cubs in the 4 seed. I feel like we've had this wild card matchup for the last month, and it probably will change by the time the postseason actually starts. Mets upset the Dodgers. Padres upset the Cubs. So they got the 5 seed and the 6 seed. Mets at Phillies. Padres at Brewers. The Phillies handle the Mets. Brewers handle the Padres. So the 1 and 2 seed. Phillies at Brewers. The Brewers head to the World Series. They host the Boston Red Sox. for the 2025 World Series champions. And it is the Boston Red Sox that upset the Brewers. They complete the Cinderella run and are your World Series champions if the season started today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for our episode here today. We have 3 series remaining. We have this weekend set. We have next week set. And then next weekend is the last series of the season, and then the postseason starts, on Tuesday, October. Like we're here, guys, the end of the season, and there's a lot of great baseball happening this week, and of course it starts today. Clayton Kershaw makes his last home regular season start against the Giants before he retires. Mariners and Astros, a series that can determine the AL West. Do the Tigers hold off the Guardians? Do the Guardians have the fight in them to bring it to next week? Can the Blue Jays clinch their spots and kind of keep back the Yankees? Can the Dodgers and the Padres chase? Do the Cubs have any magic? Can they get that division, or are they stuck in that 4 seed? So many questions. We'll get answers this week and into next week. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you, everybody, so much. And I will see you on Monday.